Unfortunately, some members of the media platforms push their own personal lives and agenda to control things.
Is your whole life turned into this constant stream of stimulation, all day, every day, bombarded with notifications from all your social media apps? You either always binge watch TV series or play video games all day, and you've reached a point where you feel like the world just isn't the same anymore. Everything that previously brought you joy has lost its spark, and some might even go so far as to say that life has lost its spark. But that's not all of it. Lately, you've been feeling a bit sad, maybe even depressed, and you have this constant feeling of being overwhelmed, and with that, you've lost your motivation, and now even basic tasks start to feel like the hardest thing in the world. Well, the reason you're feeling all these negative emotions is because you're overstimulated. And today, we'll be talking about how to spot the signs of overstimulation, the science and research behind overstimulation, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll be giving you some solutions on how you can fix it. So let's get into the first part. First things first, what exactly is overstimulation? Overstimulation or sensory overload is when your senses are completely overloaded with information, making it difficult to fully process the information you're receiving. Simply put, it's when you fried your brain with so much stimulation that now your brain can't even handle basic things. You went from living your life normally to now always feeling anxious and overwhelmed. And now every task that's in front of you just feels impossible. Quick disclaimer, there's not just one type of overstimulation, there are actually multiple types, but this video focuses on overstimulation caused by too much screen time. But you can still use all the principles here for all the other types. So here are some of the signs to look out for if you think you may be experiencing overstimulation. Difficulty concentrating, increased stress and anxiety, constant fatigue and exhaustion, irritability and mood swings. You're constantly feeling overwhelmed, and well, the biggest sign out of all of them is every time you go on any type of social media, you start consuming the content there and you don't even enjoy it. You're just watching it to feel normal, just to get to that baseline of stimulation you're used to. And the more you do it, the less you enjoy it. And because of that, you start to not enjoy regular life. Basic things like going out for a walk, spending some quality time with your family, or even just being with yourself isn't enjoyable anymore. You start to dislike everything and you don't want to do anything. And I've noticed the more I'm stimulated, the less I enjoy those things. But if I take some time off of the constant stimulation in my day-to-day life, then I start to enjoy those things again and life suddenly has its spark back. Now, I'm not saying that if you have all these side effects, that means you're overstimulated. All these side effects can be from completely different reasons. But if you notice you're always highly stimulated and all that stimulation isn't even enjoyable, and you have some of these issues that I've mentioned, it might be because you're overstimulated. Now let's get to the second part. Now let's dive into the science behind overstimulation. Research has shown that prolonged exposure to high levels of stimuli can lead to changes in the brain. The amygdala, responsible for processing emotions, can become overactive, contributing to heightened stress levels and anxiety. Overstimulation doesn't just impact our emotional well-being, it can also affect our cognitive function. Studies have found that constant exposure to stimuli can lead to difficulty in concentrating, memory issues, and decreased problem-solving abilities. Research suggests that excessive screen time, especially before bedtime, can disturb sleep patterns, leading to fatigue and irritability. Now, what does neuroplasticity say about overstimulation? Well, it turns out that prolonged exposure to high levels of stimuli can even lead to changes in neuroplasticity. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new neural connections, and overstimulation might contribute to maladaptive changes in the brain's structure and function, potentially affecting cognitive processes and emotional regulation. And on top of that, overstimulation can result in a cognitive overload, where the brain struggles to process and manage the influx of information it's receiving. This can lead to impaired decision making, reduced attention span, and diminished memory recall. Now, if the science and research, plus all the bad side effects you get, doesn't convince you that you should pay attention on how much you're stimulated every day, then I don't know what will. But now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. So, let's start with the basics. The first thing you can do is cut down on the amount of stimulation you're experiencing every day. It's time to reconsider the amount of stimulation you get each day, whether it's from gaming, binge watching TV series, or endlessly scrolling through social media. It's finally time to start cutting back. Now I understand. Going cold turkey on these activities might be a bit much for most of us. So let's start small. Consider setting time limits on your favorite apps and gradually reducing the time you spend on these activities. It's all about finding a balance that works for you. Now that we discussed what to cut out of your daily routine, let's explore how we can replace those activities with different alternatives. Consider implementing less stimulating activities into your routine. Instead of constantly seeking highly stimulating experiences, how about you try doing something that won't fry your brain over time? And since we aim for activities that help us relax and recover without being highly stimulating, here are some suggestions, and we'll get to the benefits in just a minute. Number 1. Go for walks more occasionally. Number 2. Relax your body with some yoga. Number 3. Relax your mind with some meditation. Number 4. Calm your nerves with breath work. Number 5. Spend more time with your family and loved ones. Number 6. Take more hot baths and try cold exposure. And number 7. Just try to do things that don't require a screen or access to the internet. And that's it. Those are the 7 things that can help you if you feel like you're overstimulated. But don't add all of them right from the start. Do it slowly and gradually so that you don't burn out right at the beginning. Now you're probably thinking, what kind of solutions are these? Well, like I said, we need to be doing activities that help us relax and recover. And well, binge watching the newest Netflix series or being stuck to your screen all day won't help with that. But now let's get to the benefits of these activities to convince you that you should add them to your routine. So let's start with walking. Taking more walks every day is a great way to clear your head. Plus, it's good for your health because it's cardio. And some of you guys really need to be doing more cardio. Now I get it. Yoga may not be for everyone, but if you want improved flexibility, strength, and balance with some stress reduction, then maybe yoga is the thing you've been looking for. Meditation. Now that's something that everybody should be doing because meditation quiets the mind, reduces mental clutter, and improves focus and concentration while promoting a sense of inner peace. Breathwork. Now, breathwork is one of the easiest ways to deal with stress, and this has been one of the biggest game changers for me personally. Now, there are multiple ways you can do this, but I'll suggest you go onto YouTube and search breathwork for stress and try some of them out and see what works best for you. But if you want my suggestion, I personally like Andrew Huberman's technique and the 4-7-8 breathing method. You just do a couple rounds of those and your stress just disappears. Family time. Now, everybody should be spending more time with their family and friends because one day they may not be here, and when they're gone, all you'll be able to think about is, damn, I should have spent more time with them. Plus, you shouldn't be a loner, so spend more time with people. Hot baths and cold exposure. Why should you be doing these? Well, the hot will help you feel more relaxed, but the cold, on the other hand, that's where all the benefits come in. It'll strengthen your immune system, reduce inflammation, which is good if you're always physically active, and on top of that, you'll get a huge hit of dopamine that will last you up to 6 hours. And why wouldn't you want that? Now I hope you learned something new today, or at the very least made you reconsider something. Because life may seem dark at times, but you have the power to reignite it. Recognize the signs, embrace the solutions, and take control of your life. Take those small steps, make those changes, and witness the profound impact on your life. Remember, you're the author of your story, and every page turned is an opportunity for growth. Don't waste your life on useless stimulation, make something out of it. And you have my support, as always.